Been a while since I've been on camera. It's been a while since I've done a review. It's been a while since I've really done anything YouTube related, hasn't it? Well, for those of you that don't already know, if you didn't see the community posts or anything like that, I was mourning a family tragedy. So, I took a few days to process it, but, yeah, it's just how it goes sometimes, you know? But, I'm better now. The member has been laid to rest in the backyard, and I'm ready to move forward. I mean, it's going to be sad not having him here, but that's just life. That's one of the things you have to keep in mind when you have a pet. It's gonna happen. So before we even start the review, I thought I'd go ahead and show you on camera the one I still have left. So you follow me. This is Reggie. He's a pretty young guinea pig. He's a very skitsy guinea pig, but I love the little guy with all my heart. He's adorable. He loves pets. And he's just cute. I've wanted to show him on camera for a little while now, but just couldn't get around to it for circumstances and loss of time and being forgetful. But considering what has happened over the weekend, I thought it was more important than ever to at least show you one of them. So, with that out of the way now, let's get back to business. What's up? What's happening? What's going on? Everybody, welcome back to Animation Station, which is for anything and everything animation, including TV and movies and monster films. I am your host, Jackson Small, and welcome back to 31 Days of Horror Monster Mania. And we only have 10 days left in October before the Christmas season is completely, thoroughly, and utterly shoved down all our throats. So, before we have to deal with that nonsense, and don't get me wrong, I love Christmas. It is a great holiday. Problem is, commercialization. As Charlie Brown put it best, it ruins the holiday to a certain extent. So, let's enjoy the little bit of spooky season time that we have left and talk about some more spooky movies. It's just a shame that the first one we have for this big return after my hiatus is a piece of crap that was better off being burned in its casket. This movie's terrible. I was really hoping it wouldn't be, because this is literally the origin of the Alucard alias that would later lead into, obviously, the character from Castlevania, and of course Alucard being used several times by Dracula himself as an alias in, when he's hiding among humanity. Problem is, outside of that, this movie has nothing significant or even really that good to talk about, so. Welcome to my review of Son of Dracula. Let's make this quick, because there's little to nothing actually here to talk about. Son of Dracula dates the original Count Dracula as being destroyed in the 19th century when the original novel was set. So yeah, now they decide to follow the novel. The following year, the Dracula-related series continued with House of Frankenstein, which starred John Carradine, as we will review, as Count Dracula. The famous arrival of Dracula's coffin by train was reprised in the Abbott and Costello film, Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein, which we'll also still review, don't worry. This is the first Universal Dracula film to take the Count out of Europe and bring him to America. It's just a shame that the Count himself is barely on screen. He's not even the villain of this movie. Poor Lon Chaney, just like his role as the Mummy, he's given nothing to do, because this is when Universal was winding down, running out of ideas, and their movies were getting even cheaper. After having, the Laemmle lose all the rights. Film's based on the story by Kurt Siodmak, which was adapted to the screenplay by Eric Taylor. No offense to you, dude, but it was a terrible screenplay. The film was the first to show on-screen bat-to-man transformation of a vampire. Okay, fine. Two things that are significant. The effect was the work of special effects wizard John P. Fulton. A.S.C. Fulton was Universal's special effects chief artist, starting with 1933's Invisible Man. And he won an Academy Award in 1957 for his work on the Ten Commandments, most notably for his work on the parting of the Red Sea. And then there's some reception, but to sum it up, it's all mixed. And then a little bit of trivia. First Man to Bat transformation. Alright, talked about that. Lon Chaney Jr. was the only Dracula prior to Christopher Lee to display great physical strength on screen. Problem is, again, he's barely on screen. In the film, the vampires never display any fangs. Mexico's German Robles became the first actor to show fangs as a vampire in 1957, with Hammer's first Dracula not appearing until 1958. Part of the original Shock Theater package of 52 Universal titles released to television in 1957, followed a year later with Son of Shock, which added 21 more. When Professor Brewster was reading a book on Count Dracula, the first 4 lines beginning with "What manner of man is this Dracula?" and ending with "I am encompassed with terrors I dark not think of," are paraphrased excerpts from Chapter 3 of Bram Stoker's novel. So yeah, now they decide to try to follow the novel. The problem is they have nothing to actually work with to try to actually be accurate to the novel. So in other words, Universal's just pulling random shit out of their ass. And this is another one of those roles that, unfortunately, as great of an actor as Lon Chaney was, this role was just not for him. He's barely on screen, he barely has any dialogue, and he's just a ploy, because the real actual threat in this movie is Catherine Caldwell. Now, no offense to her actress Louise Albritton, but Kay is a terrible villain. Not only because it feels completely out of nowhere, but because, just like with Alucard, she is barely on screen. Like, she maybe has 1 or 2 scenes of manipulation, 1 scene of becoming a vampire, off screen, by the way. And then manipulating again to try to get another guy to kill Alucard and then join her in vampirism. Only for him to end up at the last minute having a change of heart and burning her along with Alucard. Yes, I'm spoiling this movie's ending because I don't want any of you to watch this piece of crap. Because so much of it is just people standing around talking. And even worse, it's talking about things that have already happened, but them just figuring it out that it's already happened. Because the police in this movie are so dumb that they are literally like 2 or 3 steps behind the rest of the plot. Like, it's frustrating, it's lazy, and it's so friggin' annoying. So yeah, outside of showing the man-to-bat transformation, which would later be used again in House of Frankenstein and House of Dracula, and the Alucard alias, that's now become a name of an iconic character in Castlevania, this movie pretty much has nothing worth value. It's just another rushed, cheap, half-ass movie. Because again, this is when Universal was starting to wind down. I honestly don't have much to say here. This one just flat out sucks, and not in a good way. Writing is terrible, story is boring, acting is bland, especially Lon Chaney Jr., who's barely even on screen. Pacing's painful, production value is low, even for its time period. Rewatchability is 0, characters are beyond dumb, Alucard is so forgettable that you could change the title and miss nothing. Direction is aimless, and exposition is horrendously repetitious. Sure, it's still brisk, it has a solid ending, and is the origin of the Alucard alias. And again, the first man-to-bat transformation ever showed on screen. Fine, I'll give you that. But when the rest of the movie itself is such a mess, it ultimately doesn't matter. Just burn this coffin and forget it even exists like everyone else has. And that is why its final verdict is a 2 out of 10. I'm sorry, this is a terrible movie. It's terrible, it's slow, it's tedious, it's boring, and it's just plain stupid. Like, even as someone who loves the Universal Monsters, I cannot defend this one. It has some significant things in it, but as a whole, it is a giant mess. So, you can skip this one, and you will not really be missing much of anything. And that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more videos like this almost every single day if you so desire. And also feel free to hit the hype button to help this get higher up in the algorithm if you also so desire. And I'll see you guys next time when we continue our Universal Monster catch-up reviews with a surprisingly good final outing for the Invisible Man. Yes, after going through so many crap, pointless sequels, we actually got a good one. Just a shame it's the last one before the Abbott and Costello crossover. I'll tell you all about it next time with the Invisible Man's Revenge.